through the noise, how digital AI workers are helping businesses save time, cut costs, and reclaim focus. My name is Jason Asher, along with Roger Abraham and Ryan Albrechtson, and we'll be your host for about the next hour or so while we get through the webinar. And we thank you all, very much for joining us today. And let's all get started. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, very good. Okay, so now to go over the webinar, we're going to have a very brief introduction of Raji, Ryan, and myself, and then we're going to go over why AI feels overwhelming and what that overwhelming feeling is costing you. The next segment, we're going to talk about how to diagnose your AI readiness in under 5 minutes. After we give you the tools to diagnose the readiness, then we're going to show you how Datascape makes it easy and without a big lift to get started with our digital AI workforce. From there, we're going to talk about what it means to be a great AI partner and what we would actually do for you and your business. And then finally, we're going to have our Q&A. So by the time this webinar ends, we have 3 things that we're going to have some key takeaways for. Number 1, a simple framework to spot your 3 biggest time-draining workflows. So it's all about you and operationally how we can help. The second one is going to be examples of how companies like yours are saving from 50 to over 400 hours per month with digital AI workers. And then finally, as a thank you for attending the entire webinar and participating in the polls, there will be incentives at the end as well to continue the conversation, continue the relationship, and build up some momentum. Sound good? So we'll continue on. Next slide. Okay, so now let's get a chance to kind of meet the team of Raji, Ryan, and myself. And Raji, if you could kick us off, we'll begin.
Hi, welcome everyone. I am Reggie Abraham, CEO of Datascape. At Datascape, we believe that scaling is not about speed. It's about growing with intention, without losing what made you special in the first place. I started Datascape to bring big enterprise capabilities to small organizations. You don't need a 12-month roadmap to see the results of AI automations. We see companies save thousands per month just by automating one digital AI worker. Over the last 40 years, whether it's writing code as a developer or shaping corporate strategies at the CXO level, and for organizations like Salesforce, IBM, Delta, Department of Justice, BNSF Railway, and over 30 plus organizations, we saw a pattern where talented teams crumble, not from lack of skill. They outgrew their system, lost their culture, or burnt out trying to keep up with pace. Today, we explore how to remedy these patterns with our digital AI workforce platform. Welcome, and thank you all for joining.
Thank you very much, Raji. Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Asher, the VP of Strategy and Digital Growth here at Datascape. My background spans corporate strategy, operations and process automation going across ERP and e-commerce, as well as omnichannel. Work with a multitude of mid-market companies, Fortune 500 companies, scaling up teams and partner programs, especially at Oracle and NetSuite's over $30 million a year in ARR. And solving problems like data automation, managing data integrations, etc. And really looking forward to getting to know all of you, or some of you, after the webinar. And for that, we're going to toss it over to Ryan, and then get started with our presentation.
Awesome, thanks, Jason. I'm Ryan Albrechtson. Most recently, I've scaled automation projects for organizations ranging from craft breweries to nationwide hotel groups. Earlier in my career, I did the same, but for large enterprise. Across finance, manufacturing, technology. As an Oracle partner, I've guided end-to-end NetSuite rollouts and really learned firsthand how the right system can unlock growth or stall it when it's missing. So my specialty is deploying digital coworkers that deliver fast, measurable wins. One brewery now saves $1,900 every month after automating sales to production updates. A hospitality client reclaimed 20 hours monthly by streamlining guest feedback for processing. Jason.
All right, very good. Next slide, please. Okay, now, please do respond to the poll questions that pop up. As a bonus for engaging with the polls, we as an appreciation for the engagement, if you answer all 4 today, we will be sending you a $15 Starbucks e-gift card, as well as a small token of thanks for staying for the whole length of the webinar and participating in all of the polls. So enjoy a coffee on us during your next meeting. You've earned it by leaning in and thinking about your business's future. Next slide. So now let's start with part one. Why AI feels overwhelming and what it's costing you. Now, let's start to put this into perspective, right? One provocative quote that we have here at Datascape is, one day's effort is years of advantage. In a real example, a competitor invested a single day in automation, now reclaims over 400 person hours every month. Now think about that, 400 hours, that's a lot of time. How much are we leaving on the table by sticking with tedious manual work? Ryan, on to you to get your thoughts.
Right. I mean, we actually saw this with a client in the hospitality industry. They were spending hours every week collating guest feedback from multiple channels. They helped automate that process, and guess what? Saved them 20 hours a month in admin time. So that 20 hours now can be reallocated to serving customers, improving operations. So really, the cost of doing nothing is real. It's wasted hours and missed opportunities. Raji?
Yeah, and beyond time, it's draining focus and morale. Team could focus on creative, high-value projects, not get stuck in the weeds. And that's why our webinar title talks about reclaiming focus. We want your team to work on what drives your business forward, not busy work that a digital worker can handle.
All right. Well, Raji, thank you very much for the insights there. And now it's time to make it interactive with our first poll. Next slide. So now our first poll, which is going to take about a minute, is going to encompass the following. Which area in your business feels the most ripe for automation or digital worker support? A, managing emails and administration tasks. B, reporting, documentation, and compliance. C, operations, logistics, and workflow coordination. Or D, customer or employee support and communication. You have 1 minute, and we will let you guys answer the question and then get back to the webinar. You gotta have some music during these times next time, guys. You know, maybe hum a tune or something, you know. Okay, so
Sounds
now
like a plan.
as we're seeing the results, you know, kind of start to trickle in. It looks like it's actually C is in the lead right now, followed by A, and then a trailing is B and D. So kind of interesting feedback here, where it looks like operations, time management, reporting, and then customer employee support are the biggies right now with the attendees. Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I think email management and reporting are huge drains for many teams. They're exactly the kind of tasks that digital AI workers can streamline. Keep those areas in mind as we move forward, because we'll address really on how to tackle them. Raji?
Yeah. The key takeaway here is that if you feel overwhelmed by AI, you are not alone. Too many options can, of course, lead to inaction. And we know inaction has a hidden cost in hours lost. In the next segment, we will show how to cut through these noise and identify where automation will help you the most.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Raji. Next slide. All right, so now, how to diagnose your AI readiness in under 5 minutes. So we've talked about why it's overwhelming and costly to delay. Now let's pivot to action. Let's do something. So the question on your mind might be, okay, but how do I even know where to begin automating? Is my company even ready for this?
Yeah, so great point. Many assume, you need to be some tech giant or have all your data perfect to start the automation. That is not true. In fact, you can diagnose your AI readiness in under 5 minutes. We have a super simple 3-question scorecard for this.
That's right, Raji. It's essentially a quick self-assessment. We'll walk through 3 yes or no questions. Give yourself 1 point for yes, and even a score 1 out of 3 means you have a good automation opportunity on hand. Jason, can you take us through those questions?
I would love to do nothing more, Ryan. Thank you. Sure. Okay, so now let's look at the questions here, for the audience right now. So question number 1, do you have at least one repetitive rule-based process eating up team hours each week? That's number 1. Number 2, are errors or delays from manual work impacting your business? And number 3, Do you or your team ever say, if only we had more time for X, but we're stuck doing Y?
Right. So these three simple questions, right? If you answered yes to any of them, congratulations, you have a ripe area for automation. Even one is enough to start because that's likely your low-hanging fruit. A single well-placed digital worker can boost efficiency, reduce errors in that area by handling the grunt work with superhuman speed and accuracy. That frees your people's time to focus on more valuable tasks. Ryan?
Right. And if you scored 2 or 3 out of 3, well, it's actually a huge room for improvement. But don't be intimidated. It just means there are multiple places we can help, and you can tackle them one at a time.
Exactly. So to put it plainly, most businesses we meet score at least 1 or 2 on this test. So if you did 2, you're not alone. You're actually a great candidate to benefit from AI automation. It's not about being perfect or technically savvy. It's about having pain points that automation can relieve.
Exactly. So AI readiness is not about your IT infrastructure or having data scientists on staff. It's about those everyday pain points. If you have manual repeated tasks and a willingness to improve, you are ready. So I'm going to show you a brief demo of an ROI calculator that we built specifically to address these scenarios. Now, as I walk through this, understand that because it's a webinar, I'm not going to go through a lot of those features, just to give you a concept of what we have for anyone to use our tool. So let me just share it here. Okay, I hope you all can see my screen now.
Yes.
So when embarking on an AI initiative, the questions that come is, how do we find the right balance between effort and returns? Where should I focus? And in what order should I approach this? Right. So keep those three questions in mind. And let me give you a scenario. Let's take a finance and accounting department. And they have a process called accounts payable. And those accounts payable process would have multiple steps: receipt, verification, recording, approval, payment, reconcile, right? So this is the steps that you as a subject matter expert would know exactly what are the steps going through those particular process. Now let's take any one of those process step. It'll have a role who is performing it, the time it'll take to do the work, and sometimes wait time because you're waiting on something. And certainly you would know the labor rate or the cost of that resource performing that particular role. With that information, let's take 4 of those steps that you decide to automate. Now let's see what's the frequency at which you are performing those steps every week, and then decide what you want as a utilization of those resources that who are coming out of those steps due to automation. Using this information, let's take an assumption that it takes a one-time cost for AI to be implemented and a recurring cost for the AI to continue every month. With that, let's create some dials and see how we can compute the ROI, annual savings, revenue gain, payback period, and so on. So this is the concept. So what I'm going to show you is an ROI calculator that does this computation. So let's take an example like Acme Corporation that has so many different departments. And I'm going to take one particular finance and accounting, and they have several automation options available. And I'll take the accounts payable automation. In that one, there is one process called the accounts payable. And here it shows there are 11 steps. Its runtime is 150 times per week. We broke that down into the different steps. And if you look at every step says, okay, who is the AP, the role, how long it takes for that particular work to be done, and what's the wait time, what's the average hourly rate given to them. With this, we can build a flow. The flow shows, okay, this is the order in which the steps are moving. There is a decision here. In this case, every step is automatable, therefore everything is green. Some cases you may not have an automatable step. But with this one, now you have everything needed to do the ROI analysis. So here I have a bunch of sliders. Let's take that each process I'm going to make $30. And if I say my average implementation cost is, let's say, 50,000, every month, let's say I spend $500, I can just say, what is the value you're going to get out of a freed hour? Let's say $30. And you say, how much of the work reduction happens because of the automation? What's the throughput you're going to get? By using these, right, you get what the ROI is, what's the payback is, time reduction, monthly automation costs, and so on. And if you feel these numbers are not really what you believe in, here is a computation. It shows step by step exactly how those numbers came. It's simple math. So essentially now you have a tool that will show you based on certain what if analysis, how much return of investments you will get. Back to you, Jason, or if you have any questions.
Raji, thank you. So when we release this tool to the audience, Raji, and we're looking at the accounts payable here, and we're talking about, you know, a process that has a $30 cost. What really should the audience, what's the main thing that the attendant should be focusing on when they're working with a calculator? Is it looking at their team and seeing what their current team is doing, putting that through the calculator? Is it net new projects? Like what would be a great starting point for them to use the ROI calculator to help solve their you know, a challenge that AI can address?
Yeah, so one of the things is any organization, right, when you look at starting a AI project, there is internal approvals needed, there is internal alignments needed. So
Right.
as a subject matter expert, you would know, let's say I want to take a process X, and you know that these are the steps I have to go through to everyday operations. You start with
Great.
that, you do some metrics, and these numbers really help you sell those uh, opportunities to your internal business and also give you the validation that it is the right investment. So from a step point of view, this is a tool for you to verify, validate, and get buy-ins from your organization.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much, Raji. Thank you very much. Okay, next slide.
Are we sharing the slides back again?
Yeah, it's live TV, folks. It's live TV. All right, so now, second poll and the Daily Double. There's supposed to be like a graphic come up or something. All right, so now for the second poll, which area of your business would benefit the most from automation? Is it accounting and finance, sales and marketing, operation, or customer service? You have 1 minute to answer the poll, and we will await your feedback and then continue on. No, Raj, I got to tell you, that ROI calculator is something else, man. You know, it really wraps a business plan around AI concepts that a lot of AIs don't even think about, you know?
It is, and we're going to grow those capabilities beyond what I have shown. This is like an early introduction into it.
Really, really, really great stuff, Raji. Great stuff. Okay, so now the results are coming in, and a lot of people have chosen operations as a key area of automation, and quite a few said customer service and finance as well. That tells me that many of you have internal processes and external customer-facing tasks that could really use some automation help.
Yeah, really, this aligns with what we see in practice, right? Operations like order processing, inventory updates, scheduling really often involves repetitive workflows, right? And in customer service, things like triaging emails or FAQs can be partly handled by digital workers, giving your team more bandwidth for more complex customer needs.
Yeah, see, the good news is whatever area you have picked, there are quick wins to be found there. The key is to start with one focused use case. And that brings us to how Datascape approaches this.
Raji, as always, a fantastic toss. So you've identified where you could use help, and next we'll talk about how to actually get an automation up and running. Spoiler, you don't need a huge budget or a PhD in AI, or you don't even need to poach anybody from OpenAI in case Mark Zuckerberg is here to actually getting, some digital workers spun up for your business. Now, for part 3, how does Datascape make it easy? So when we're looking at the slide right now, I think the main thing to focus on here is really the last bullet, which is digital workers equal AI-powered virtual team members, and pre-built workers that automate tasks like humans would. So let's go on to the next slide, and we'll start to dive into the digital AI workforce platform. Now, going back to Raji's ROI calculator. The core of the digital AI workforce is automation, adaptability, process compatibility, data analysis, and strategic insights. And the platform itself is built to run on top of existing AI platforms. So we will always be future-proofed, we will always be at the cutting edge, and we will not be beholden to the feature functions of platforms. We're more the orchestrator of the platforms themselves. So we have 5 workers within our stairway. We have Pulse, which is on a low end, which is the worker that we're going to learn about soon. They're a reflex automation agent. Pulse Plus is an experienced reflex agent. Pathway is a goal-oriented navigator agent, if you will. Horizon is a value optimizer agent, so it chooses the best, not just the known. And then finally, Synergy is our top agent, if you will, the penthouse of our agents. And it's a strategic visionary. It can learn, it can explore, it can compare and contrast. It's the most advanced agent that we have on the market today. Next slide. So now, Raji, if you could please walk the audience through our quick start model and our 3 pillars of success, that'd be really great.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things to understand is that when I showed you the ROI calculator, there were ideas about different steps. And that is one of the ways of doing it. So here is another way you can look at it. And when we typically work with the different customers, we follow these 3-step processes. It's designed to require minimal lift on your part while getting the tangible results. And I'll outline what those steps are. So the pillar 1 is about finding the right problem to solve. So you may use an ROI calculator to figure out maybe that's the right one, or we can help you spot your highest leverage bottleneck first, right? The pillar 2 is about building the first digital AI worker. Here we want to build a fast digital worker to prove value in 30 to 60 days. In the previous slide, Jason showed about the 5 different personas of the digital worker. The idea is that whatever step you have decided to automate, it can be solved with one or more of those 5 personas. That's the whole idea of approaching it. And finally, pillar number 3 is, once you have it up and running, scale the process, right? Not the chaos. Once that first win is live, we will help you replicate it across your organization without needing extra headcount or IT. Jason, go back to you.
Yeah, and Raji raises a really great point with pillar number 3, because what we've seen within our client roster and in the industry is that this is not about it's not about taking a big, a boil the ocean, big bang approach. It's about getting quick wins operationally, getting more workers in for more quick wins, and then scaling it across the org. And that's how we found that companies maximize their AI budgets and their AI investment or automation investment, in turn with retaining culture, retaining, Raji, as you said in the beginning, what made your brand and your company great in the first place, and really getting everybody refocused on what the main thing is. So pillar 3 is really important because, we're not about the big bang. We're about seeing where we could precisely, in a right size scenario, really get the wins for you and your organization. Next slide. Okay, now, so let's talk about a client story. Right? Let's talk about a client story. So we're gonna talk about a craft beer brewery that ships kegs of a flagship IPA. Right? I was hoping for a stout example. We're gonna go with IPA right now to 80 regional bars. They do about $3 million in revenue. Ryan is laughing because he knows my affinity for stouts. So now, pain points. Now, what are the pain points here, right? We're talking about manual orders. We're talking about subscription routing. We're talking about missed deposit credits. And we're talking about 8 kegs a month in loss or $800 in replacement. So the pain right now is felt not only from an operational point of view of time, which we've been saying is a recurring theme here, but now we're dealing with customer satisfaction. We're dealing with brand reputation. We're dealing with brand recognition and also overall brand experience. So now, we positioned our Pulse agents here, and the Pulse agents are entry-level agents, and we basically have 4 agents that we installed in this business. So first one is Pourpost, that tags each paid square order with a unique keg QR and driver route. So we have accountability. Roadrunner, text Google Maps optimized stops, replacing the paid app. So now every time the driver stops wherever they are, kind of like UPS, FedEx, or USPS, hey, I'm almost at your stop. I'm a few stops away. Please make sure someone's there. TapTrack, it scans the kegs on delivery pickup and syncs the status back to QuickBooks in this case. But because it's a digital worker with MCPs, it could really be applied to any ERP system, not just QuickBooks. And then finally, Deposit Decks. It auto issues deposit credits and updates AR when the kegs return. Now, this one automation saves a bunch of hours. And then webhook to webhook design, there's no central workflow engine, zero IT needed. Any business can consume a worker like this and be successful. Next slide. Now, the intangibles, right? Overall, the monthly saving is $3,800, right? The intangible wins are the following, right? Bar managers praise the lightning fast deposit credits. Customer satisfaction, good. Brewers spend more time brewing, not data wrangling, which means that the brewers are more focused on making more stouts instead of this endless amount of IPAs. Now, the tiny purpose-built bots mean quick tweaks without a ripple effect. Okay, so for instance, it's a 10-minute update for a new data field. It's not days, it's not months, it's not weeks, it's not massive change orders. Hi, I need this field added. Thank you very much. Boom, done. And then the net result is deliveries run on autopilot, costs drop, relationships strengthen. If we focus, if anything, a key takeaway for today is relationships strengthen. Relationships strengthen within your business. Happier employees mean happier customers and a better culture overall, which is really where this is heading. Next slide. And then finally, we know there's a lot of stuff here. Let's just focus on some highlights. Every dollar counts when you're a business. Doesn't matter if you're $3 million or $3 billion. And we're able to save these guys about $4,000 a month. Again, 20 hours of manual data entry eliminated, missed deposit refunds cut by 90%, lost keg write-ups virtually gone. But the main thing is the micro automation isn't about building one massive workflow. It's about stringing together laser-focused reflexes that wake, react, and sleep so your people can get back to perfecting what they do best. So in other words, we're not coming to you today saying there's a one-size-fits-all scenario, take it or leave it, like a large ERP system. What we're saying is that, our goal at DataScale is to get to know your business, build workers that will help your business get to where it needs to go to get you the wins that you need in exactly the areas that you need it. So it's a very targeted approach. Next slide. Okay, now we are up to poll number 3. So if you're still here, and a lot of people have really stayed on, so we really thank you for sticking with us. Now, what's held you back from adopting automation in the past, right? Is it no in-house expertise, so you're afraid to do anything? You didn't know where to begin, analysis paralysis, burnt by a past solution, or overwhelmed by too many tools? So we'll give you guys a few minutes to kind of gather your thoughts and answer the questions, and then we'll get back to the presentation. Who's going to drink all those IPAs, Ryan? It's really
That's a lot of IPAs.
It's a lot of beer. It's just a lot of beer. Okay, all right. So we see some data coming in here. It looks like the leader right now is no in-house expertise, followed by didn't know where to begin, trailed by overwhelmed by too many tools, and burnt out by a past solution. Although we're just a couple of years into this AI revolution thing, this is actually a very telling story.
Yeah, these are exactly the fears that we encounter with new clients, and they're valid. The great thing is we've really structured our service to tackle each of those. No in-house expertise, we ask as an extension of your team and do the heavy lifting. Minimal time required on your side. Didn't know where to begin? We help you figure out that in the discovery step, identifying the low-hanging fruit in a consultative way. Burned by a past solution? Yep. Again, shared investment, quick ROI. We start small, we prove the value and the savings, and often fund the next steps. Sure, it will work or disrupt things. We really keep it as a low risk with a small pilot at first and maintain control with humans in the loop. It's not a big bang, as we said, it's really a cautious rollout.
Exactly. So the whole design of our three-step mode is to remove those obstacles. By starting with the right problem, building the worker to be up and running in 30 to 60 days, and then scaling. So once that first digital worker is up and running, these fears turn into excitements, because then you see it working. Your team gets 10, 20, 40 hours back, and things speed up, and even errors drop. And you start asking, what else can we automate?
As much as possible. It's true. We find that our biggest problem, after the initial win, is that the clients want to automate everything immediately. We generally remind them, crawl, walk, run. And even though there's like a really great enthusiasm, we really have to take it slow. So, all right, I think we've covered how to make it easy and low risk, to adopt digital workers into your business. Now, let's step back and talk about what to look for in an AI automation partner. Whether you look for work with us or someone else is important, because having the right partner can make all of the difference. Okay, so now on to our last part of the webinar. And guys, stick with us. We got some great incentives coming, and now we're going to go over really what to look for in a partner. So by now you probably gathered that we see ourselves as not just a vendor, we see ourselves as an AI partner of our clients, right? And we think the distinction is very, very crucial. So in this segment, we're going to outline what a really great AI partner looks like for your business, versus what a typical vendor would do.
All right, so let's paint the picture. A vendor might sell you a piece of software or a one-off solution. They will give you the tool and, of course, the bill and maybe a user's manual. And then it's up to you to figure out how to integrate it, how to use it to actually get results. If things go wrong or things change, you might be on your own, or you have to pay costly support or upgrades. Does that sound familiar, team?
So really, a partner, on the other hand, is really in it for the long haul with you. It's less about selling, more about solving. So Jason, can you take us through some specifics of what an AR partner does?
I will, and it sounds like somebody had a little bit of an IPA. So yeah, so number one, what do the partners look like? So number one, right? So co-creates a strategy and a roadmap, right? A partner will sit with you to identify automation opportunities, to find successful metrics together, rather than just handing you a generic tool. We often say we co-own. So when we sit down with you with our white glove service, our goal is to understand where we can get to quick wins, how we can help your business, and how we can really help you guys get the wins you need in your department, in your division, in your company, to really help push your business forward in a great way. Now, number two, start small and deliver quick wins. Instead of pushing a massive all or nothing project, the partner advocates starting with a manageable pilot like our MVP. Prove the value early. A vendor might want to think that big contract up front. The partner proves themselves by earning a trust ROI in stages. So part of how we build the trust with our clients, in the same way we gave the example of the brewery story, is that we just started with one worker. We just started with one thing. And that's it. And they were able to progress from there. Now, number three, shares the risk with the outcomes. A true partner is really to put skin in the game, like shared investment, shared focus, and it's focus on the outcomes, not just the sales quota. If a partner is confident, they're flexible in pricing the commitments to ensure that both sides see the results. So in other words, when you're successful, we're successful, and that's really the mark of a true partnership. Provides ongoing support and improvement, right? Automation isn't a one and done. Your business processes might evolve, or you might find new use cases. A partner will offer training support and regular check-ins to improve those solutions. So, for example, if this was an ERP like a NetSuite or a Salesforce, it could take weeks or months to see the improvement. With Datascape, you come to us, and we can basically update fields and make the improvement. So it's sometimes within a half a day, an hour, even 10 minutes in some cases. So it's a very quick improvement that you'll see immediately. And then adapts to your environment. Every business, right, has a unique systems and requirements. A great partner doesn't force you into a one-size-fits-all box, right? That we respect your rules, we respect your environment, and also respect your constraints. From those constraints come creativity. So better off that worker operates within your current constraints to be creative and deliver value than we come to you and say, well, you have to change. So we work within your current infrastructure. And then finally, security and compliance integration with your existing tools. And again, going back to the constraints, we work within them so that everyone could, within the project could be as creative and as successful as possible.
All right. So I also want to add, a partner ensures you maintain control and visibility, right? We emphasize the human in the loop control in your hands. This means even as things are automated, you have involvement, human judgment at critical points. And you can see what this AI is doing. You should never feel like you have unleashed a mysterious robot that you can never reel back. With a good partner, you're always in the driver's seat.
Exactly. Really, and a partner will celebrate your wins with you and troubleshoot challenges with you. It's a relationship, not a transaction. Honestly, that's why we love this fireside chat format with our clients. We've become part of their team conversations.
And speaking of conversations, I know we've been at it for about 38 minutes now. So if anybody has any questions that they want to have queued up, now would be a great time to start to put questions in the queue, because we will be coming up on our QA probably about 5 or 10 minutes. So when you're evaluating anyone in this space, including us, of course, you got to ask yourself, are they behaving like a consultant and collaborator, or just trying to close the deal and move on? The difference is that we show up, to show you the difference in how smooth your AI adoption can be and how much value you'll actually get from it.
Yeah, and that brings us to you, our attendees here. We want to make sure you leave this webinar with what you personally find more helpful. Let's do some quick poll to gauge that, and then we will tackle some Q&A.
All right, on to our last poll. Next slide. All right, now, last poll is, what would make this session feel like a win for you? A clear path, a clear plan customized for my business. B, a quick automation win that I can implement immediately. C, confidence that I'm headed in the right direction. D, helping my team or leadership on board. All right, there should actually be an E or an F, like IPA or stout, but we'll save that for a different webinar. All right, so it looks like a lot of people chose A, which is clear next step or plan, as their top choice. But you're also seeking confidence that you're ready with some concrete use case ideas. This is really great feedback, right?
Yeah, it is, Jason. Really, we intend to deliver on those. In fact, our live call to action coming up is designed to give you all these things: concrete step, a roadmap, even a hands-on demo with your own data, so you can feel confident this works.
Yeah, awesome. So before we get to that and our special bonuses we announced in the beginning, let's pause and take some questions from the Q&A.
We do actually have a question from Bo in the audience, asking about, how do you ensure air-gap security of the agents and use of enterprise data and processes? This is actually a really great question.
Yeah, so this is very important for us to understand that the way we solve the problem is based on exactly the customer's needs. So if you have very specific needs where you want it in an air-gapped environment, we actually run those digital workers in your environment. So our model is where if you have your own hosting services on-prem or cloud, we use that as the target for the run environment. Or if there are customers who do not have those capabilities, we will host it in our environment. And Our security audits and all of the controls we have are standard industry practices.
All right. Well, Bo, we very much thank you for your question. Okay, guys, so we're going to open it up to all of you for the next few minutes. If anybody else has any questions, we've been more than happy to answer them. So if you thought about your questions or you thought about what you'd like to ask, we'll give everybody a few minutes to gather their thoughts, and then we will get to the incentives. I think the people are just taking a little while to type. Would anybody else like to ask a question? Okay, all right. So I tell you, we'll keep the questions window open. We'll keep the Q&A open in case anybody has anything towards the end. And now we'll go over our exclusive offers for our attendees today. So, one, for attending, we get a free email declutter digital worker, from a digital workforce at no charge, right? A VIP AI readiness audit and roadmap for the first 5 bookings. So the first 5 attendees that book a meeting with us, our team will conduct a personalized AI readiness assessment for your business and follow up with a 4-week automation roadmap plan tailored just for you. And then a bonus for the engagement is a $15 Starbucks gift card. And we appreciate engagement. So if you answered all 4 polls today, we'll send you a $15 Starbucks e-gift card as a small token of thanks. And then finally, the ROI calculator that Raji demonstrated before is free to all attendees, released on a limited scale. And the rest could request to be added to the waiting list. So to book a meeting, please scan the QR code or email us directly. And we'll be able to get you guys in the running for the VIP AI readiness audit.
So Ryan, we have
Awesome.
we have the scanning, right? Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Yes, right,
So you can actually just use the QR code to book the meeting. Just scan it right there. It'll take you to the Calendly link, and it's a quick 30-minute intro call. So we'll discuss your needs, get the ball rolling, whichever fits you, whether it's the email declutter setup or the readiness audit. But we'll just have that conversation there with you guys.
All right. And then when you click on that Calendly link, you'll see slots for the coming days. Go ahead and grab time that works for you. Our team, like one of us here, will be on that call. At the end of the call, you'll walk away with a step-by-step plan that's saving you at least 20 hours per month. This is what it will look like, for us to work together.
Yeah, and remember, if you are one of the first 5 to book, I will join the meeting and you get the detailed audit and roadmap. We will let you know in the call if you are in the first 5. So speed counts on that one. And by the way, the engagement, the assessment that we are doing is for you to keep. It doesn't have any commitment as to the implementation will be done by us. You can use your own internal teams or other vendors. We would, of course, like us to be the vendor, but there is no obligation. So this is a free AI assessment.
Right. And we really truly encourage you to take this step. Even if you're just curious or have a specific question about something we discuss, book it. Worst case, you spend 30 minutes with us, get some tailored advice, free coffee. Best case, a month from now, you can have your first digital worker up, running, saving you hours and money.
All right. Well, in terms of what we have today, guys, that's about a wrap of cut through the noise and keep it simple. And remember, even small steps with AI can lead to really big gains. And we'll leave the webinar open for about another 5-10 minutes in case anybody has any questions. But for those of you who stayed and answered all the poll questions, expect that Starbucks gift card. And we really appreciate your time today. And again, if anybody has any questions that were not asked before, we have time now. So please ask away if you have anything that's on your mind.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure sharing these insights and hearing your thoughts in the polls and the Q&A.
Hey, we look forward to hopefully chatting with one of you guys, some of you soon, maybe even celebrating your first automation win in the coming weeks.
Oh, look, guys, we already got one booking. All right. All right. Hey, guys,
Nice.
for those of you that are still here, we got 4 open. We have 1 so far. Let's get the other 4 filled up, guys. Up. Oh, sorry. That was spam. All right. All right. Well, looks like a few people are leaving
Thanks,
right
everyone.
now. Does anybody have any questions? We're still here. We got coffee. We got, computers and microphones and presentation. All right, guys. Let's give the audience a few more minutes in case they got distracted. Oh,
You
wait,
guys are sharp
can you put
dressers.
back can we put back the QR code in case the attendees are waiting for the QR code? Because I know we had one person already. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. So if you're waiting for the QR code and you're still in here, there's the QR code. We have 5 open slots left, for the one-on-ones with Raji, Ryan, and myself. So let's get 4 more slots full, guys. Come on. If you don't want beer, we can send you an IPA. It's well, we're very flexible. All right. Okay, very good.
Okay, I think
All right,
we
we'll
can
give everybody
call
about
it
2
a-
more minutes.